Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Lebanon Board of Park Commissioners meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order and let the record show that all members are present. If everyone's had an opportunity to look at the minutes from the March 6th meeting, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I move that we approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, under old business this evening, Kevin Krulik, project updates.
Thank you very much. Update for tonight, just to run you through various projects, where they stand. We'll start with some work that's happening downtown. The Alley project is really a Heart of Lebanon project, as you guys know. We've completed our the city's responsibility in terms of asphalt patching and things for associated with burying and sump pump lines. And it's my understanding, that they're working on developing the interpretive signage that will be installed in the alley. And, and then after that, obviously, there'll be some park responsibility for maintenance and upkeep down there. But that's moving forward. We've also, back on the 18th of March, we completed a lot of miscellaneous concrete repairs around the square. I want to thank John and the crews for holding off some of the mulching so we could get that done. And then they were able to complete the mulching after that was completed. Other projects around the city, talking about some of the road projects. Fordyce Road, or Fordyce Street, is really our next main project that includes trail extensions from East Street all the way out to the new Central Elementary School. We had a good meeting at Centenary United Methodist back on the 21st of March. Had a lot of people come out to meet the construction team and the inspection team and to learn more about that. Basically, at this point, we've completed tree clearing, and we're working with utility companies for utility relocations. We don't anticipate real road construction starting until August, but we are still planning to have that road open by August of 2025 when the new school year opens, and obviously that will include the new path that will be added to the park system. Whit Road, another major road project, isn't really scheduled to happen until 2027. Starting in 26, complete in 27. We'll also include another trail extension along the west side of Whit Road from Lafayette Avenue up to just north of Austin Drive. And again, that's really just working through utility coordination right now and finishing up environmental documents to move that project forward through the NDOT system. Noble Street, another project that will run through the NDOT system, is not scheduled for construction until 2029, but just to keep that all on your radar, that will include path and sidewalk extensions, including path connections on the Big Four Trail up to Noble Street, and extending those trails and sidewalks from State Road 39 out to State Road 32. Active living programs, kind of the smaller projects going on around town, the city wayfinding signage that will direct people to various amenities around the city, from this building to the park systems to the hospital, is anticipated to start installation at the end of this week. It's been kind of a long time coming, but I'm told that foundations will start going in the ground at the end of the week, and we'll see those signs being stood up here shortly. Also working on another active living program is a planning scope for the study of the Midland Trace Trail as it comes into Lebanon from the Westfield area. And we're just finalizing scopes with our design firms. I expect that we'll have a firm chosen and in place later this spring, and we'll probably look to kick off those planning efforts late summer or early fall. Jumping out to, I guess, more true park-focused projects, the Stone Eater Bike Park project. A lot of construction continuing on out there. Although it's been raining for a couple of days now, we've had really good weather up to this point, and they were able to complete the construction of all the stone access roads around the park, and they've completed the parking lot stone base construction at this time. They're also nearing completion of the hauling in of the nearly 10,000 tons of material for the bike trail contractor, who will be planning to start in early May. Next on the horizon for us is storm sewer work. Again, a little bit of weather pending on this one. It was really scheduled to start this week, but I don't think we're going to be doing anything with over 2 inches of rain that has fell so far this week. But hopefully we'll get some dry weather in the next coming days, and we'll be out there next week on storm sewer. We'll also have a contractor on site now working on picking up some of the superficial trash deposits that are in the woods and cleaning up those areas and getting ready for the trail construction. The old street garage, the master planning efforts there, really just working with the design team and John and his staff to start developing final schedules for the public engagement process, public surveys, how we can gather public information on what they want to see as we develop a plan for the redevelopment of that park. Down at Abner Longley Park and at Memorial Park, we're looking at pickleball reconstruction as well as the fishing pier construction. And we're meeting with an owner's rep firm by the name of Kramer Companies next week. Dan Slokowski is the gentleman there that we've worked with in the past on different park projects. Most recently, I guess it would be the park restroom building. He helped us manage that. So he's going to help us put together, we're looking for some traditional delivery methods of designing those things and then getting those out to bid. But the design costs, in my opinion, were just too high for the scope and the scale of project and the budgets that we're trying to deal with. So we're looking at bringing him in to help us manage some alternate delivery processes that might be design build or construction manager at risk type contracts, really to put some of the design responsibility on the contractors and complete those projects, which I think on a project of that scope and scale is really probably a smarter way for us to proceed. And so that's what we're going to do. We're meeting them with Kramer next week to start developing that plan to deliver those projects. Still planning to deliver those yet this year. The Big Four Trailhead restroom facility and trailhead updates there at Menards at Sam Ralston Road. That is moving forward. We're having weekly meetings with our design team on that. We actually expect to receive preliminary plans later this week and be going out to bid before the end of the month, and still looking to get that under contract and completed yet this year. I'll mention DPW projects that are in the works. Obviously, we're getting ready for our street resurfacing program, and we've got grant applications out there, and we've got a bidding package for 21 different streets and about 4 miles of street reconstructions scheduled for this year. But I want to call to your attention the Anderson Lane project. Anderson Lane between 39 and out to Elm Swamp Road. We're actually going to put that road on what we would call a road diet. We're going to narrow the road. We're going to eliminate some of the turn lanes that are into the residential neighborhoods. And that's going to free up some pavement space for us to add additional curbing into the road and create a trail that will connect Elm Swamp all the way over to the hospital. And this will be a trail basically built on the pavement, behind curbs, protected with bollards, and so we're putting that, this does not affect the park budget, we're putting that entirely within other funding sources and the Department of Public Works for the funding of that project. So that project is out on the street now, and we're planning to open bids on the 23rd, and we'll keep you posted there, but I think that'll be a nice addition to help slow traffic down on Anderson Lane, as well as provide another pedestrian connection through that corridor. And then last but certainly not least, just calling your attention, one road project out in the Leap District that should be starting yet this spring or early summer, and that's the reconstruction of Witt Road from 300 North up to the Lilly entrance. This will also include bike paths and walking paths along the road through that corridor. So we're looking forward to, again, expanding our trail network and system there. And that should be under construction by the IEDC and Lilly team here in the next couple months. That's all I have.
Quick question for you. You talked about the Anderson Lane project and the paths. Would the path be on both the north and the south side of the road?
No. In fact, I can share with you what we're looking at here. 1 second here. I'll pull up the 548. Well, shoot, this just worked a second ago. Oh, here we go. So this is the project here. This is the sketch that we put together for the project. This is Anderson Lane right here adjacent to the hospital. At this location, we will actually have an asphalt path built in the grass that will run through and across the entrance into Witham, and then it will continue on to the east. Going east, that separated path continues. You start to see in this area where we've got the green areas in the middle of the road where we are creating some raised medians to also calm the traffic, slow traffic down, eliminate some of the unnecessary turn lanes that are up there, some of the unnecessary additional pavement. And then as we hit this drive here, which is Finch Boulevard, that path then will come across the street and onto the existing pavement. So you can see the green shaded area there. That is where we will be painting a path on the pavement. The blue dashed line is where there will be curbs separating that from the additional through traffic. The white lines are basically stripe lines of the crosswalks as well as the sidelines of the road. The yellow is the double yellow line down the center. So that's where we start that sort of on pavement path. As we continue to the east, it basically continues like that. There's already a sidewalk, to your question, there's already a sidewalk on the south side of the road. So what we're really just trying to do is add another feature on the north side of the road that would probably be primarily more used for cyclists, but would also be available for pedestrians as well. But again, trying to have, as you go through the project, have that 10-foot path on the north side of the road to complement the sidewalk on the south side of the road. But also a key component of that is narrowing the street. Right now, if you drive down that street, because it's so wide and there's so much pavement, it feels like you can drive a lot faster than you really should. And we really want to the best way to slow people down is through some of these traffic calming efforts to try to create a subconscious feeling that you need to be driving slower because there are these barriers near the edge of the road. There's the potential for pedestrians along the edge of the road. That continues on to the east as we get to, sorry, it's a large file here, so it's taking a little while to load, but
Is the idea that the cyclist on the path there on the north side would go both east and west on the north side?
yes.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
I bike that area a lot, and it is very dangerous because of the traffic, and I'm just curious how that's going to materialize.
So it would be not unlike the paths we have off of the road. This would just be sort of built into the road. But yes, it would be a multi-directional path, at least 10 feet wide in all areas, separated from the vehicular traffic by a curb. And then, areas here again where we had nearly, this section right here, near Gulfside and Countryside, there's 48 foot of pavement there. That's why people drive fast, because there's nothing in your way. It's as wide as an interstate in a lot of areas, and wider than some of our interstates actually. So again, here we'll be adding those medians that also slow traffic down, adding the curb separation to the two-directional path on the north side of the road, and as you get through this area of Gulfside and Countryside, the medians fall away, but we continue that separated path on the north side of the road, and then end here at Elm Swamp Road where we upgrade the crosswalks in that area. And so we'll be able to create this pedestrian system that connects to the sidewalks that have already been installed along Elm Swamp Road to the south, and be able to get provide people another option to get safely out to the hospital or to the YMCA without having to take their car.
And there'll be a signage to marks like
Yes,
the
all the
usage
crosswalks will upgrade the signage there so that cars can also see those better. Everything will have new asphalt surface. Everything will have new, fresh, clean paint everywhere on the street. So all that's included, so. And this is not just, I created this picture here, but we've also had traffic engineers review this, making sure it's compliant with all the traffic design standards, all the proper distances for lane shifts and things like that have been accounted for. That's our plan.
Sometimes there's confusion for people who are walkers versus bikers. And, walkers, of course, are a little bit more vulnerable than the bikers.
Sure.
And so I just want to be sure it's clear that it's for both.
Yes.
And that so they don't feel like, well, because you don't normally want to ride a bike on a sidewalk.
Exactly.
Because it's meant for walkers.
Right.
There's like a courtesy thing there.
Yeah. This would be for both, but I think it's really, you'll probably see that it will lend itself more to the cyclists than it will the walkers. But we're not going to prohibit walkers from using the path.
I get it. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, we'll probably have some signs, like the typical signs you might see where, share the road, but also that bikers are to yield to pedestrians and things of that nature, so.
Helps, yep. Thanks.
What other questions?
I have a few questions. All the trail going in, is there a plan in place for connectivity with all
There
the?
is, yeah. We actually have a bike and pedestrian master plan that was generated by the planning department. Derek Warren is primarily the keeper of that, and this corridor was laid out in there as needing additional facilities for bikes and pedestrians. So that's what kind of colors some of these decisions. But in a broad scale, we'd like to have everybody in the city within a quarter-mile walk of a trail system.
Right.
So.
Okay. And then another question I had, the fishing pier, can you explain to me what you're doing with that again?
Yeah.
Because we have the one thing that had the pier and the little shelter, yeah.
Yeah, so this is just a fishing pier. This is a
Right.
30-foot by 50-foot fishing pier, kind of in the northwest corner of the pond. And I think why we're doing that project, if we're going to do it, in my opinion, we need to make sure that it is accessible to everybody. So I think the project, if the funding will allow, will also include a trail connection, probably an asphalt trail connection that will connect to the parking lot north of the splash pad and run along that northwest side of the pond and connect up to the Big Four. And then it will have a connection off of that new trail to the fishing pier as well. Also included in that would be some railing or fencing, something along that west side of the pond to protect people from getting too close to those steep slopes there.
But I know we had a bid on that, but you're now you're bringing someone in to do design, and that's where I'm
It'd be someone to help us manage a design-build contract.
Okay.
As opposed to spending, we got proposals for someone to design the fishing pier, but the proposals were over $150,000. In my opinion, why would we spend $150,000 to build what we hope is a $300,000 project? So we are taking a different approach, and let's put that design responsibility on the contractors. We'll have the outside consultant to help us review all that and make sure everything is covered, everything is safe, everything is appropriate. But we think it's probably a more efficient and quicker way for us to deliver the project.
That's what I wanted to clear that up. I was a little confused. And then another thing, are we even looking at the walking path at Abner Longley? Has that even?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we talk about. I didn't mention the list of other projects that are sort of in the conversation, like walking paths, like the Frisbee golf courses, things like that. Some of those would be self-performed in-house. Other things, like the walking path system around the park, I think that would require a little bit. That's a larger project requiring a lot more lifting. And I think the difficulty right there is there's not a funding source set forth to build that project at this time.
Okay, I wanted to make sure it was still in there. And then the other thing I wanted to know is where we stand on the parking lot for the soccer field.
That's another one of those projects on that list of miscellaneous projects that we continue talking about with John when we meet on a regular basis. But again, I don't know that there's been a funding source that's been pointed to for the payment on the paving project there. But that's definitely something to remove the stone pavement and remove the stone parking and replace that with asphalt.
So is that even in line yet?
I think that's something we can easily quote and get prices, probably similar to like this path. It's something that I can draw up and we can get quotes for. I think that that's something, though, that this body needs to think about is how are we going to fund something like that? And certainly I can help if there's not the ability or the appetite to fund that with park funds. You know, we can always make that request to the city council for some additional funding there, whether it's through, I don't want to speak for them, but whether it's through food and beverage requests or general fund requests. You know, I think those are also things that we need to put in front of them.
We did take that. We have taken that to the council prior, you know, to you taking over the projects. And they were open to funding that paving. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I think at this point, what I've heard from them is that they just need to see an actual, you know, proposal from a contractor on what that would cost, and then make a formal request. They voiced their support to pay for it. It's just not been anything that's been, in their opinion, they haven't seen a formal request that they could go to contract on.
So you can do that then for us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'd like to push that up.
Okay.
Because that's been there for a long time, and we really need to.
Yeah, I'll work on that exhibit, and we'll have that ready to go out for quoting before I see you again.
Yeah, that needs to be done. Yeah, okay. It's been there for a long time.
Is that of other projects, so of things like, so we talked about the pathway, there's projects that okay, so there's a few things that we're tracking. One is Reese Park parking pavement. There's the pathway and lighting around Abner Longley Park. There's the Frisbee golf, which I believe is self-performed at this point. There's the playground equipment upgrades at Abner Longley, which I believe is also self-performed. And the last thing on my list would be drainage improvements at Memorial Park, right, which I think there's also a self-performance and a partnership there between the Parks Department and DPW to make those things happen. So what I'm hearing, though, is make sure that we move Reese Park to the top and get something for us to act on, say, in the next 30 to 60 days?
Yes, it needs to. It's been pushed back too many times. And,
sure,
you know, driving out there, they need asphalt.
Okay.
Out there.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would appreciate that. It just keeps gets pushed back, and I'd like to see it go forward.
Understood. Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, any new business to come before the board? None? Okay, then we're ready for the director's report.
Yeah, let me just add to Kevin on the street department. Some of the concerns, I think, Diane, that you had about the survey that we're going to send out, I agree, and they're going to put that into, I think, the 11th question or whatever, to make sure that people can go ahead and respond on that questionnaire that goes out, or Survey Monkey, what have you. Another thing you brought up at the meeting, I think last meeting again, was the dog part, or the dog sign on there. That's in the works. That's been in the works. Again, as Kevin said, there's a lot of signage that we have out there for a lot of things. That is out there, and we couldn't get anything quick from Menards. It's always beware dog and all that, and I didn't want anything cheesy out there. So it is there, but we will get it, and we've identified that. Another thing about the lighting, you were coming on Northeast Street was one of them. We did have funding for that. I did find funding. There again, Derek Warren is helping out with that, I think, with his active living money. We're working on that. There again, the guy that does our lighting is on vacation, so I can't get the order in, but he should be back next week. and I'll get that order in for that. I already have Kip, who's the guy that put all the lighting in at Memorial Park. He did the construction of it and all the boring and all that. So that's heading. So that will
follow up on that.
Yeah, that will get addressed. I just lost my train of thought on the other thing I was going to address, but oh well. That's just a few of the things that we are covering in that. I'll just go through the list of what we've been busy over the last few weeks with. Memorial Park, all our restrooms are open now. We've edged all the beds, and I think we've mulched 50% of the beds that we have. We have quite a bit to do, but moved along kind of ahead of the game with the nice weather. Obviously, the snow out there doesn't help us too much. You know, we've trimmed all the plants and all the beds that we have there. And I want to thank Brett Craig's mother. She's a master gardener, and she's out training one of the staff, basically. Megan, a new hire, came on and is going to be taking care of our beds at Memorial Park downtown, Vincennes. And I really appreciate her help. She's very knowledgeable, very, very knowledgeable, and she's showing Megan all these. So I greatly appreciate her. She's, last couple of years, helped us out a lot in the park. She likes to weed beds. Okay, yeah, I'm the same way, but she loves it and very good at it. She's helped us out the last couple of years, but I appreciate her knowledge going on to Megan, and Megan greatly appreciates it. All areas are treated with pre-emergent and fertilizer. Baseball field, mound, and home plate, we worked on those also with the high school. Those get torn up every year, so we have to put clay in them and lightly tilling and all that, and then rebuild them basically from the ground up. Billy also was out there tilling up all the infield, all the baselines and everything, and then applying conditioner and working it in. A lot of work, and he's an old baseball player, so he loves doing that. We also have all the irrigation is turned on at the baseball field. So our first game for Lebanon High School versus Pike is Friday night. If you can get out there, it's supposed to have beautiful weather. Unlike what we have out there today, it is baseball season. Seashore Water Park, a lot has gone on there. The pool deck and both vessels have all been power washed, cleaned, ready to rock and roll. Umbrella canopies installed. We put the umbrellas out a little bit early because we have this eclipse that's coming up real soon, Monday. So we wanted to show our best that we could out there. So we put all the canopies out. Health inspection passed. They were out there today, went through our concession stand, flying colors, no gigs on anything, and I greatly appreciate all the work that's gone into that. Taylor, Allison, along with Thomas, and then we had Sarah that came in from, she's worked at the concession stand for several years, did a nice job, along with Logan and our maintenance staff. The bathhouse water is on, and we needed a few repairs. We got those corrected. They ran all the plumbing above everything, so it just drowns out everything, and Billy's used his expertise on that and got everybody going with PEX, and really appreciate that. Grounds treated with pre-emergent at Memorial Park. Outdoor TV installed, and that has our menu and upcoming events, things like that on the outside. It's been very helpful to speed up the line, and people can have something to look at while they're waiting in line, which is always long at the concession stand. Plant material, there again, all that was has been trimmed and cut back, and we're ready to go there. Washer and dryer for our lifeguards and whatnot, all the cleaning supplies that we do. It's been reinstalled up at the park office. Weekly and daily maintenance performed at Memorial Park. We always clean the restrooms 7 days a week. Volleyball sand, we rake it and clean it up, make sure it's looking good. It's getting a lot of activity up until this weather spurt. Shelter and cabins cleaned on a daily. Tables and playground equipment inspected and cleaned on a daily, and ground trash and sticks. Also mowing and edging. We've mowed, I think this is our third time out, which season started a little bit early. Abner Longley Park, all the restrooms are open and painted. Partitions are installed. We also installed them at Memorial Park at the old restroom. but that was quite a feat, and got that all done. Football's field and practice field, they've been treated with pre-emergent and fertilizer. Football and practice field rolled. Splash pad spring maintenance has started. Softball field treated with pre-emergent and fertilizer. Softball field is also rolled. Softball infield, lightly tilled and dragged. It's getting a lot of use right now. I had a call last, I think it was Monday, and there were 2 people that thought they had rented the field. If you don't have a receipt for the rental of the field, then it's not yours. It's whoever has the rental. And that's the arguments that we were getting in the past. And I said, whoever has the rental form gets the field. So anyway, that's worked out, but it's been very active. So I'm glad we have that in place. Fence row, cleaned it up along the dog park over there. Had quite a few trees and things growing in it, so we got that cleaned up in the nice weather. Had 3 trees that we've removed along with stumps. The RC track, cleaned it up. It's all ready to rock and roll this year. Mulch trails throughout the conservation pond. That's from all our clippings and trimmings that we have from the trees, so it's really nice to put them there and beef up those trails. Disc baskets are cleaned up, so we're ready to install those soon. As Kevin was saying, that's going to be our baby that we're going to do that. We'll probably put the split rail fence around the pond also to try and put a little barricade up there. That's what we'll do in the next upcoming month or so. Pond treatments and the fountain, got it installed. So that's our first pond treatment of the year has been taken care of. There again, weekly and daily maintenance that we perform at Abner. Restrooms cleaned on a daily basis, field dragged, shelters cleaned, tables and playground equipment inspected, mowing and edging at least once a week, and the ground trash and sticks are a daily. The hot pond, we've treated that pond also, and the fountain's installed. So we're good with it. Downtown, the old mulch removed and new mulch added. As Kevin said, the curbs have been replaced down there. Appreciate Joe getting out there and taking care of that, and he's done a nice job for us, and we went ahead and finished up those. Plants are trimmed and some were transplanted. We still have some new plants to install, and we'll do that in the upcoming weeks. Curbs, as I said, were repaired. We're waiting on fencing quotes. There's several fences that are just torn up. One of them got demolished in front of the old Boone County Bank, a key bank it is. And that one's just demolished, so that will be replaced. We have no video or anything or anybody identified or stepped up to say who did it, but we will take care of it. Tables and chairs, we had to sand those. They're getting pretty old and dated, but we sanded them up, cleaned them up so they're safe, and painted those along with put those. We didn't put the umbrellas out because these 90-mile-an-hour winds that we're getting would just destroy them, and that's what's happened a lot of times. They've been knocking them over, even though they're very heavy tables. So we'll wait to put those out until these winds die down, rather than going down and taking them out on a daily. It's just we'll just leave them out, and it's nice enough out. 2 trees to be replaced around the square. We'll do that in the next couple of weeks. I think possibly even next week. And there again, we do a daily trash pickup and the grounds all around the square. Reese Park, the grounds were rolled. We put pre-emergent, applied it. Trash cans were finally placed out there. You guys were out there tonight, Brett. You were in the cold there. There's quite a few people out there. So I hope people are very mindful of all the kiddos out there and really take it easy. 20-mile-an-hour speed limit, so please slow down when you're out there. I hate to have any accidents. There again, on a daily, weekly, they do a great job about cleaning up out there, but we still have to empty the trash cans and mow, and we pick up from time to time. With these winds, it's really difficult. Vincennes University, we bed edged the majority of the property. There's a ton of beds out there. Bushes and plants are trimmed. We started mulching, and then this great weather came in, so we stopped on it. We turned on the irrigation and made those repairs. Again, quite a bit of work out there. We'll just do it as we see fit. We want to make sure our parks are looking good, so that's our first priority. That's kind of a back burner, but we are working on it. Big Four Trail, we removed 4 trees. There's been tons up and down with these winds that are just old, mulberries or whatever fall down. We do that on a daily with winds like this. That's the first thing we do is make a pass out there and take care of the trees that are on the Big Four Trail. That's something that I wanted to say. The Big Four Trail, Kevin didn't mention, I think he mentioned it last week, that that will be, Milestone has got the contract. We had leftover monies from the project before out there. So we'll be asphalting from 350 all the way back to 250. A nice 10-foot path like they did before. They did a great job. I don't think we even have any trees to clean up for them this time. I think we did a nice enough job that they won't have to do it and get in there and get out. Probably a week job for them, but I'll put it on our webpage as far as when that work occurs. It should be pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin.
There's some complications there. I just came up.
Oh, okay. I'll shut my mouth then. There we go. But hopefully that'll get done. Weekly sticks and trash out there and doggy bags. Make sure those are filled up. And I think we have a portalette out there. We also have a couple of barrels, so we do that on a weekly. We've been busy planning events for the upcoming solar eclipse this Saturday, April 6th. We have a cornhole tournament starting at 2:00 p.m. Pickleball tournaments beginning at 3 p.m. Inflatable games, food trucks, and Journey and Jet Band singing at 4 p.m. and Toy Factory Band starting at 6 p.m. on April 8th, and that's this Saturday. Again, Memorial Park and Abner Longley Park will be great spots for viewers. We're offering reserved seating in Seashore Water Park gates, where guests will have immediate access to restrooms and concessions, a limited crowd, free drinks and from the concession stand, along with a pair of viewing glasses and a t-shirt at each chair. Tailgate outside the gates, you can listen to the live DJ and enjoy the food truck at Abner Longley Park starting at 11. Visit our website or give us our office a call. I'll just show you this real quick, what's going on at Memorial, if I can have that on there real quick. I don't think I have to hit a light. Well, I'll go on till he throws that. There it is. What we have there in front of the office, this little, right here in this area, right outside the little half moon that's near the basketball course, that will be lit up with all those is going to go down by the band. I just wanted a little visual of what we had there. That's all that's going on there. Again, we have, I think, at last count, 44 chairs that are already reserved. People from all over Illinois, up north, and I heard some people talking about England. They were bringing guests in from England. So this thing's really going to happen Monday, which we're nervous and excited about. Also downtown, you got to look at the Heart of Lebanon. They have many, many events going on. You can go to the Heart of Lebanon website, but I know that we're bringing 10 picnic tables down for them. They have food trucks also, like we do out at the park on Saturday. They have that on Monday. All the events downtown are Monday. They even have roller skating at Memorial Hall at the gymnasium. It's just going to be a nice event, a band, food trucks, and quite a few activities. Missy does a great job down there in the Heart of Lebanon. So if you can, get down there on Monday and enjoy the 80s theme festivities. Tailgate, there again, another thing going on would be at Abner Longley in front of the football field, 11 a.m. until 4 o'clock. we'll have a live DJ. So you can pull out your chair and just go sit out there if you can get out there. Had a great turnout for our 2024 Easter egg hunt. Yes, the bunny was there. The weather was awesome, and we hope everyone enjoyed their time. Look forward to next year. Again, I think a minute 42 on the, what was it, 2 to 4 year olds, and it was like 47 seconds for the 5 to 7. And I mean, we have thousands of eggs too. I think there were 8,000 eggs this year, and those kids just wiped them out. So, and then it was just quick. The quickest bunch though was that, what was it, 5 to 7 year olds. The 8 to 10 did all right, but I think they were a minute and a half. So all in all, kids had a lot of smiles, got to see the Easter Bunny. Want to thank Jack Carroll for all his help with us in Purity Wholesale. They give us a $500 donation, along with a big candy bar. So a lot of smiling faces with the parents that are gonna eat that candy too. But Allison had some nice gifts, and I wanna thank the park staff. They all work it and they all enjoy it. Everybody wants to work that one. And of course, the Easter Bunny, Megan, did a nice job also. So stay tuned for more information regarding our Princess Party taking place May 4th, and swim lessons registration open May 1st. Also like to touch on what the Heart of Lebanon has planned for this upcoming Eclipse weekend again. Roller skating at Memory Hall, 80s movie night at Memory Hall, 80s aerobic at Witham YMCA, vendor fair, science space show, tailgate party, 80s concert in the Heart, and 80s look-alike contest. So get out there, look at the websites, and just enjoy the weekend. I want to thank the council for setting aside the monies for all this to take care of all this event. I think if nothing else, if nobody shows up, our city's going to have a nice party this weekend. So weather's supposed to be good, and we can all enjoy it. Again, Kevin's done an outstanding job on this bike park. I'm getting exhausted with all the emails going on, along with the meetings, and I'm only a part of them, the park projects, but Kevin just is doing an outstanding job on all this. Again, he's trying to save money with some of these engineering firms that are quite costly, and he's saying, no, we aren't gonna go that route, we'll go different routes. So he is being frugal with our tax dollars, and again, the projects, he's got a lot, but our park projects are moving along. We do have financing for some of them, but not all of them. And the council does seem very receptive, so hopefully we will get these projects done, as Lori mentioned, that we've been after for several years. And I think, you know, we've all wanted those projects, and it comes down to the financial end of it. And I know the council's very receptive, and they say they'll help. So we'll see it one of these days, all these things. We have some nice things. The Lions Club gave us a nice contribution, $36,000. That playground will be installed after June sometime is when it's supposed to be delivered. We'll get the dates, but it's going to be an all-inclusive, or not all-inclusive, all hands on deck. People from Kiwanis are going to go, and it's going to be our first community build, the playground. That'll be exciting, and we'll have more on detail on it later. But yeah, looking forward to that. And there again, couldn't have done it without Kiwanis. We used some of our monies that we encumbered from last year on that project. And another thing I want to thank is for Thompson Street, across from the tennis courts or pickleball courts at Abner Longley. We've wanted that building for a long time, and it's really pretty well run down. We've been pretty much boarding it up all the time, and finally the county and city got together. I want to thank both the attorneys, the commissioners, the mayor, everybody getting on the same page, and that's moving forward. It's going pretty quick now, so within the next month or so we should have the deed to it, and we can start ripping down some buildings and cleaning that property up. And I'm very thankful that they finally all got together and got on the same page, and the liens are getting removed and taken care of. So I want to thank them for all their hard work, both the city attorney, county commissioners, and mayor, our council, everybody worked together, which is really nice to see.
You know, John, we keep talking about this list that we have that's been kind of perpetual list, and
Yes.
it's all good to keep all that surface, but I think we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge how much has been accomplished in the last 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, there have been a lot of projects that have come to fruition.
Absolutely.
And it's to all those people you just listed and yourself and your team. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's a real
Thank you.
credit to that. I think
And
we should
you
be really
guys.
proud of that.
Oh,
as a
absolutely.
community.
15 years ago, we didn't have a war memorial. I mean, if you can think that, we did.
I remember all that, yeah.
Yeah, it was, and there's been a lot of battles and a lot of, and it comes down to finance. But again, with our direction and the park board's direction of where we're going with all these projects, and our master planning has been outstanding. So these projects just keep going, and I greatly appreciate Kevin's staff and his help on all these projects too. So
Being creative with funding and
yeah, very
just
creative. You're right.
consistent support. It's just
Yeah.
it's all very good. It really
is.
makes our community more and more attractive.
It does, and these trails. Derek Warren was on the park board, and some time ago, and yeah, he took that trail under his wing, and the active living with the accessibilities around town, and just done an outstanding job. And he takes more and more on, and greatly appreciate his help. I mean, all this connectivity, it's just great. Now, soon we'll be able to go to Zionsville. I mean. Never thought that when Richard Stroop and them, Dave Cook, way back in the time where we got grants for that, John Lashley's term back and then, never I could have dreamed that this was all going to happen in my lifetime, to be quite honest, and look at it.
A lot
Yeah,
has been accomplished.
it has.
John, I have a question.
Yes.
We talked sometime, it's been a while, on putting a bench along 39 there. There's a kind of a gap between benches, and you said the next bench that came up, you would try to,
Yes.
this bench that's going to be placed, can that be placed there?
Yeah, I wouldn't see why it couldn't. Yeah, I do. Some of these people, since they're $1,500 for each bench that they purchase, kind of want it in a specific spot.
certain place.
Yeah, rather than us going out and buying one, purchasing and setting it there. But I agree with you.
Try
yeah.
to guide them that way?
Yeah,
Because I've just had many seniors say that they want to walk, but there's a gap there, and if they
Yeah.
need to take a little break.
I think the next one that's coming in the next couple of weeks is one on near the baseball field. There's one there, and there's quite a few going back there. I think there's 3 now, and there's going to be a 4th there. And then I think the class 75 is talking about putting one out there. So I'm trying to steer them there. Our playgrounds all need replaced with those because we have the wooden benches. So we are looking at those. But that's, yeah, I haven't forgot you.
John, I just want to clarify one thing.
Yes.
The playground equipment at Abner Long Lake, that was a donation from Kiwanis,
Yes,
correct?
$36,000 from Kiwanis, and then we're basically matching that. We had encumbrances from last year that we brought over from our capital improvements line to go towards that. And there again, we went through ProSource where you don't have to put out 50 bids or what have you. It's the same thing, the school. The school is using the same person that we use for this. I think they have 3 playgrounds that they're doing, the Central, Harney, and Perry Worth. They're replacing all those, so it's very reputable, but yeah, $36,000. That check's gonna be, they're gonna do a presentation here soon. I think Mike Kincaid announced it at the last council meeting that of course, he wanted to say the pancake supper, which we all know is coming up here. I think it's Thursday. Don't forget the pancake supper. Yeah, Kiwanis is a great friend, along with all the other groups that we have out there.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. Thank
Yeah.
you. Any other questions? Thank you, John. Okay, the next item, if everyone has had a chance to look at the claims, I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Okay, if there's nothing else to come before the board this evening, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move that we adjourn.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you for joining us this evening.